We put this together, we each bring great strengths to this topic, and I think together we do something none of us can do individually. We all know that we are all caught up in this unprecedented time, that we must stay healthy and safe at all times. And as your speaker for today, I will enlighten your minds with regards to our situation on how and what to prepare in these times of pandemic. Before we start with our agenda, let me introduce myself first. My name is Patricia Joy A. Lacro, a grade 11 STEM Copernicus, and I'm very pleased to be in this event. I want to add my gratitude to all of you for being here, and particularly my appreciation for my teacher for giving this task, or should I say an opportunity to spread awareness. And at this point of time, it is really important for us to be alert and aware on what is happening around us, and do what is must along the lines of actionable things that we can do to simply handle and manage of pandemic to all of us. Now, let's begin on what is pandemic and how it affects the entire world, because there are still many misconceptions about the spreading virus, or what we all know, the COVID-19. Like it is only a simple cough and fever that we can cure through medications, but not knowing the fact that it is a serious case. With this, I conclude that there are still nescience going around about what COVID-19 really is, on how it creates a global crisis or pandemic that puts us in a situation that any movements with regards with physical contact with another is prohibited. This is the time that we need to open our minds and be insightful in this kind of situation, and help each other sustainable and financial needs in any other way, for the reason that this pandemic can lead to weakened economy, and as well as misinformation, public confusion, and travel restriction. And that is the purpose on why I am standing in front of you today. To be prepared during a pandemic, we must gather important and reliable information from trusted sources so that we can devise the best plan to simply address the pandemic. We must also be aware of what to do in the event of a pandemic, in the event that the virus spreads to our country, specifically our community. Most importantly, it is extremely necessary for each of us to adhere the various laws, ordinances, and health standards that have been set in our country. They say survival of the fittest, and the movie Train to Busan, which was released in 2016, emphasizes the necessity of empathy in eradicating the every man for himself mentality. Living amid a pandemic, we have read several literations of the above, in certain cases leading to ostracization of some over fears of catching the coronavirus infection. However, their actions are rather reminiscent of the stories of real-life kindness and courage that have emerged during COVID-19 pandemic. Just like the simultaneous earthquake drill that we are doing on our school, it is very important that we are all knowledgeable enough on what to do on unpredicted events such as epidemics. Involving everyone in prevention, preparedness, recovery, and response efforts can help to ensure that youth, families, and communities are prepared and able to respond when faced with pandemic. It is not surprising the way an epidemic works is much like a natural hazard. Its true impact is not just in what it does directly, such as a cyclone killing people, destroying crops, fishing boats, bridges, and more. It is the knock-on effects on livelihoods and employment, governance, transport, power systems, water supply, and the environment. We should prepare, respond, and recover. We must learn the lessons of this current pandemic to prepare ourselves for the next one. By acting now, collectively, and with urgency, we can avert the unfolding global crisis of drug resistance, protecting our health today and for generations to come. Before I conclude, I'd like to remind everyone that if you care about and love your family and friends, you must do what is necessary to ensure their safety if you know that you are the one carrying the disease. It is critical for us to be united as we hope that this will end soon. Thank you all for listening.